The assignments that I got over the years, Ethiopia and Baghdad, and went to Hanoi for a while, all over the U.S.
You may not recognize him, but you have welcomed him into your home every day for the past 4 decades. Whenever news happened during the past 44 years, Mike Borland was there. He's now down to his final 2 days here, retiring after years of serving as mentor, chief photojournalist, and friend. Here's a look back at his career of telling your stories.
If only the tapes on these shelves could talk. They'd tell you about our history.
Bradgate.
The town that wouldn't die.
Our triumphs.
It is inundated with the floodwaters, more on the southern exposure.
Our tragedies.
People are challenging us to protect the limited resource upon which we all depend, our precious soil.
Our stories. Moments in time captured through expert eyes behind a lens. And for the last 44 years at WHO, the most expert set of eyes belong to Mike Borland.
It started in '77, and in those days we were at 11th and Walnut in a building that doesn't exist anymore. I was a journalism major, but I was in print journalism at the time. But I thought this is kind of related, so that's when I started. That's what I was doing, operating a big machine that was as long as a room. You put film in one end and it came out pictures at the other end.
I trained Mike Borland in the WHO TV Film Lab. That's a badge of honor. I trained Mike and we ran the film lab together, and it was a great experience.
As time went by, I started to work more hours, less in the film lab, and actually going out and helping on stories, shooting stories, or just being along to learn.
And Mike never stopped learning. What started back then in the old days of film evolved to the newest kind of camera with the newest form of tape, to now, the drone.
I like to think that Mike's prowess as a drone pilot kind of started with the floods. Shooting out the door of a helicopter. In fact, there was no door. We took the doors off.
To the left of the waterworks plant. Can you swing out here, Mike, and shoot the river itself?
He didn't have a sliding door. He had a hinge door. So he had to take the door off so Mike could shoot out the back.
So we had to get over that kind of look of shock, or that feeling of shock and awe that we felt, and share that with other people in a way that made sense.
There's someone down here, look at this. There's someone body surfing on 2nd Avenue.
It was crazy, but it was compelling, and it kind of propelled WHO to be the #1 station.
Water is gross.
From those historic floods to terrorizing tornadoes and blizzards that buried towns, there was nothing like Iowa's weather, and Mike was there.
You always knew that if you were headed anywhere, northeast, west, or south with Mike, he knew the lay of the land already, and odds are when you got to your destination, people there already knew Mike.
He's a safety net. He makes you feel like it's going to be okay. Like, nope, no matter what, it'll be okay.
The farm crisis in the 80s that threatened our future, to the push for racial equality and the unrest that followed, with Mike caught in the middle. Mike's seen 7 presidents, countless caucuses, and gobs of governors.
He didn't get overexcited or underwhelmed. He handled things on such a steady spectrum that I think that helped him have such a long career.
Politicians don't faze him. Nothing does. Mike goes where the story is.
They're citizens. I'm a citizen. I can go up there.
He demands it.
I'm doing things, and I'm raising people's awareness, and I'm helping to educate them. I think there's more awareness that a well-educated, well-informed public is a good thing for democracy.
Mike's traveled the world for Iowa, the famine in Ethiopia, POWs in Vietnam.
We got to see parts of the world that most people never would. And I know I did. I know Mike did too. We became a lot more appreciative of what we have in this country when you see how the rest of the world lives in certain parts.
Mike is a humble guy from Humboldt who never let success change him.
In this 44 plus years, I don't think I've ever done the perfect story. I think there's always something that I can look at when I watch a piece and I think, should have done that.
He may be his strongest critic, but we know the strength Mike brings. Just look at the walls at this television station.
It's always been about, I've put good people around me, is what I feel about Mike, that he's put good people around him. And as a crew, as a group, and as a chief of all those people, he's a good leader.
Yes, his talent is big, but there's something bigger.
He's a patient teacher, a consummate professional, you know, and he treats everyone the same.
The thing I remember most about him is just being gracious and taking me in and being kind and never making me feel like I didn't belong there.
If you lined up the 250 or 300 reporters that came through WHO in Mike's time, and he saw all of them, right? I bet you most of them went out on their first day or pretty close to their first day with Mike, and I bet all of them would tell you that it was exactly the experience they needed it to be, because it calmed you down instead of amped you up.
He just let us learn and experience it. Instead of saying, been there, done that, instead he guided us through it. He, you know, shared his wisdom, kept his enthusiasm up, and I think that's what I look back and think. He never had that I know this more than you do attitude that he deservedly could have had.
Mike's a leader, teacher, colleague, and friend.
It's crazy. Like, who does that? Stays at the same job, the same place for 44 years? That speaks a lot to his character.
But what Mike treasures most, husband, dad, grandpa.
His family is number one, always has been. It's a passion, it's a calling, but he knows when to just treat it like a job, get it done, and get back to the people you love the most.
Through the different things that I've done, that my sons learned that a lot of life isn't things, it's experiences.
Experiences, 44 years of service. His lens, our eyes to the world. We hope you now see the difference that Mike Borland has made in it.
Oh. I hate goodbyes.
I do too. Well, it's not really a goodbye. I mean,
It's see you later. He's still going to be around.
Look how young he looks.
I know. Well, he rides his bike
Right.
all the time, so let that be a part of his legacy as well. Keep moving, keep learning.
Yeah, and
keep
we
teaching.
will all keep those great mentoring moments with us. He's been so good to us,
Yeah.
and probably one of the most constant, steady people I've ever met.
Absolutely.
All
And that's
through
what
the
you heard
years.
everyone say through the years.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We're going to miss you, Mike, although just come back here anytime, okay? I've got a key. I'll let you in the back door.